Hey guys, once again, welcome to the channel. I'm back on the Mini Cooper. Yesterday, and I don't know what sequence that video will be in, I replaced the ABS module. But today, I've got to drive back to Virginia from North Carolina for the week for work. And I'm going to do something that I don't want to do, but I need to do. I'm going to switch the aluminum valve cover back over to the plastic valve cover. So I got a new gasket to replace the Felpro. I do not like the Felpro. It just doesn't seem to fit the same. And I'll talk through why I'm doing this and what the comparison of the two, because there are things I like about, there are things I like about the aluminum one, and then things I hate about it that I wish were not wrong. But it's so wrong, I just have to switch over. So I'll show you here. This is the old plastic one, and this is not the original. The original one melted into pieces, and when the valve or the head gasket blew. So as you can see, so the problem with this one, and you can probably tell why, is they leak. I don't know why, but these plastic ones just don't they just don't seal well. I think after some heat cycles, the between where the mounting holes are, they just don't hold well. And then here at these corners, I think it recommends putting a little bit of silicone here at these corners, and that's easy to do. So they will leak pretty good here. I did one time try to put this back on with no silicone, because after it was leaking, I was like, maybe I just need to do no silicone. It leaked profusely from these corners, but it was leaking all around. So I literally, as you can tell, just coated this thing. I filled the groove, and it didn't leak. So that's your trick, is to completely and utterly coat this thing. But I'm going to clean this first with some brake cleaner, get a mini screwdriver and a rag into here and just clean this out. So I'm going to do that first. And then I've got a PCV valve. I've had some PCV valve issues. That's problem one and two, and I'll set these up side by side. There's a breather hose here. Let me show you on the car. As you can see, this breather hose is being held on with a hose clamp. So I don't know if you can tell, but there's a green O-ring in there. So this green O-ring, that's obviously, if you know anything, that's a AC O-ring, but I put that in there to help seal this, because these just don't seal right. The casting is messed up on this thing, and you just can't get this hose on there. So that's one problem. The second problem is the PCV. Something's wrong with the PCV. Every one of these metal valve covers have basically said the PCV is messed up, and it just pulls oil. It loses oil. It burns it, I think. It pulls oil in through the tube. And in my other video, I put my finger in. There's a lot of oil inside of this tube. There shouldn't be that much. And then that goes down into the intake, and it puts oil into the cylinders, and this thing runs on at least mid-grade fuel. So it's basically like running it on a lower grade fuel, because there's a lot of oil in it, so it doesn't run right. And I think the way it comes around and enters here, you don't get a misfire in cylinder 1, just 2, 3, and 4, which I guess makes sense if the oil is not getting all the way across from this tube down to the back and all the way across. It's not getting all the way to cylinder 1, so cylinder 1 is firing fine. But I'm not going to walk through replacing this valve cover or taking it off. I've done that before, or I'm not going to show you that, but I'll talk through it really quickly. It's quite easy. This little cover got all you need is a 10 millimeter and an 8 millimeter and an extension. That's it. It's pretty simple. These two bolts come off, and this cover comes off, and then you can just unplug and pull out each of the coil packs, and don't worry about the spark plugs, just leave them in there. Once these two come off, you just pry these back, like you lift up one side and then pry these back with a screwdriver, and it'll pop off. Just carefully. This one's already broken, but the other three are holding it on fine. The cam sensors are, you can leave them in and just unplug them, but you're going to have to swap them over. So there's a two 8mm, so really easy to swap those over. Then there's some 10mm bolts all the way around here. Pretty simple. You got to take the air cleaner off. So you got 10mm here, 10mm here. This just twists up out of the way, and then unplug the mass airflow sensor and pull this off, and you can just pull this thing out of the way. So pretty simple. That's it. And then there are a couple of 10mm. There's three? Yeah, 3 deep 10mm in the center here. And that's it. Comes right off, clean it up, and replace it. So I'm not going to walk through that much more, but once I get this off, I'll put them on the table and we'll look at them and see internally if there's anything with this PCV and this breather system that I can see. So I'm going to clean that other one, like I said, and then take this one off. And then we'll lay them side by side. All right, guys, I'm all prepped, ready to go. I will put a small thin coat of bright stuff on the top here of and make sure I hit the corners. But one thing on these little ones here, 4 of them were stuck on the edges, so make sure you check that when you pull this off. But yeah, here is the difference, right? This is built in. It seems like this is pressed in, so it's not. So it's a separate piece, but it's pressed in. It might clip off of there, I don't know, but I'm not going to mess with it. But these are screwed on, so you know, some of the little molding parts seem the same, but I don't know. It's hard to tell. So maybe I'll take this off. Looks like a Torx might be pretty easy, so maybe I'll do that after I put this on while it's curing. So that's it. It's pretty simple. You know, it's been less than an hour, so I'm gonna put this one on, and then we'll dig into this one and look. And I'll show you the PCV valve. Here's the PCV valve. I showed it in another video as well. What I did, it didn't fix it, but it was different. I cut this spring, and I'll show you the spring goes, you know, on the, this is technically the bottom, but I actually took this rubber off, cut the spring in half, and then I put it on this side, because this, and I'll show you, this presses down into onto where the so this actually kind of holds it open so that the oil can flow through. Let's see if I can show you on this one here. Yeah, see the spring goes down in here, and if it's pushing up, then the passage from the oil where my thumb is to this hole is free and open, and it can come right out. So I don't know the deal with that, but it was the deal. So yep, I'm gonna put this one on. Well, I cracked this aluminum valve cover apart. Just a whole bunch of T25s, that's it. And it's pretty simple, right? You've just got this, it looks like, I don't know where the air where it would come in at. So here, so it looks like here, and this would be tipped this way. So it looks like any crankcase ventilation is supposed to come in here, and then there's a little opening there, kind of runs through here, and then it's supposed to, I guess, snake through all this stuff, and then before it gets to here. And then where these two little screw mounts are, there's two little O-rings. So they put some O-rings there, and all this is just I guess there's a little gasket in there. So, but it's bumpy here and bumpy in a couple spots. So maybe you could take that off and silicone, because I don't know, maybe just that gasket just is not good and pulls in air around the edges of it. That's my only guess, is that these just don't seal up well where that gasket's supposed to be on there. That's all I can think. Well, the bumpies is where it drops down here. So yeah, that's all I can think, man, that this thing this thing just doesn't seal well. So maybe, especially around this port, putting some silicone and then putting it back down. I don't know. I'm not gonna try it now. I ran the car, started up, let it run for a bit. No leaks right now, so I'm going to let it sit, check the oil level, and it seems to be running really smoothly, so much better than with this thing. So yeah, I just wish they could figure out what the heck is going on with these aluminum valve cover gaskets in the PCV system. Aside from that, it's a great valve cover. Like when you put the plastic one on, you can just watch it deform in multiple places as you tighten the bolts down. So yeah, I guess just take it off, slobber both sides with a thin coat of CLP. Oh wait, the armor says CLP. Thin coat of RTV, and then make sure you glob those corners, and you'll be good. So yeah, I wish this one would work. I really like it. I like the look, but it just doesn't run right with that PCV problem. So I'll be driving this, like I said, 5 hours this afternoon. So we'll see how it goes. The other thing, and I think I might have talked about it in the last video, and the one thing I'll talk about is all of these. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 now PCV. So I bought one to swap out on this metal one. That didn't fix the problem, like I said. Then I just bought another one because there's tabs here. So there you can see this one. That tab cracked. That tab is the only one left. There's 2 tabs there that are completely broken off. So I have not been able to pop those PCV valve off without breaking the tab. There's no way to get it's completely hidden. You can't get a screwdriver or anything in there to pry the tab gently. So if you're going to take it off, just know you're going to be replacing it. So buy a new one. And they range from, like, I think the latest one I got was like $11. So they're very basic. So it should be fine. But they go up to like 30 or 40 on Amazon. So find the cheapest one and get it. Obviously, also how quickly you can get here. But thanks for watching, guys. The saga continues. I think I need to get I either got to take it to get the components scanned, or I need to, the ABS module flashed, or I need to buy myself a computer that will flash all the components. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, do the free things, and I'll catch you on the next one.